Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to episode 226 of the weekly recap. As you can see, Rick is still on vacation, but I do always have some special guests. Our community is great, and this time I have Shane and Jos that accepted my invite for this episode. So thank you very much, both, for being part of the recap today. I know this is not your first time, as we were talking a bit earlier. And Dios, you were actually doing a few at Vimon, and we did one special live stream, I believe, at some point. Was it sysadmin? I can't even remember. It's been a long time, but
Yeah,
it
I
was a
think,
special edition.
yeah, World Backup Day, something like that,
Backup
2 years
day.
ago.
Yes, there you go. And Shane, I know we did like some traditional ones together. I don't know, did you say you did one with Rick or maybe not?
I think I did one with both you and Rick. I believe
Oh,
Tyler, former
okay.
legend, and Michael Paul were fellow guests with me on
Hey.
the recap. Yeah. So I think this is my third or fourth time. I think may have done one other one.
So that's amazing. That's great to have you back then, both of you. But you know, even though you participated in the recap before, there are people that might not have watched it, or people that are new to the community. They're gonna watch this episode. What do you think to just start with a very brief introduction about yourself? So let's start with Shane.
Well, I'm in my day job. I am a systems architect for a local school district here in the Kansas City, Missouri area. As far as the Veeam community side, I am a Veeam legend as well as manage the VMCE study hall page. I may share a little bit about that later on. And I run the Veeam user group here in Kansas City as well. And I may touch on that later on as well. So thanks for asking me to be here.
Absolutely, it's great to have you. And Jos?
Yeah, hi. First of all, it's a big honor to get invited for this setting during Rick's vacation, but really happy with that. My name is Jos Madi. I'm a virtualization and data protection consultant in the Netherlands, and for the Veeam part, I'm honored with the Veeam Vanguard status, VOG leader for the Netherlands, and I helping with the VMC-A study hall. So not the VMC-E, but the A.
Yeah, and there are some changes to come in there, but
Yeah,
we're going to announce them at a later time. But yeah,
indeed.
I know there were some announcements, right, in the on LinkedIn, Twitters already, but
And
let
Shane,
them be very official, right?
indeed. And Shane did
And
already a great session a couple of weeks ago.
yeah,
Yeah, we had Federica and Beeson from Tsunami, and Federica, the program manager for the certifications. We did a webinar on the VMCE study hall page. So
oh, that's great. Maybe you can just tell us more in the special department news. What do you think about it?
sure,
Yeah,
yes.
just give us an overview of what you discussed because I think that's an interesting topic for everyone. But I know this is going to be a super awesome show because I have awesome guests and great content. So, what do you think? Are we ready to start?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm gonna share my screen. This is always very tricky when you just do it with one single monitor, but we'll manage it. So let's start with one that I really actually like. Luca in his style, Link State. He's doing very long articles, but very good information in here. And this time he's talking about how to configure Microsoft Entra ID, backup and restore, and what is he doing in here. He's providing, as I said, like a comprehensive walkthrough for setting up, managing Microsoft Entra ID for everyone who is not familiar yet, but I think everyone that works with Microsoft is familiar with this new way of calling the Azure AD. So he's doing that using the backups from the Veeam backup replication version 12.3.2. And yeah, as I said, very long article. If we're gonna just scroll, and then he's also sharing a lot of links with good information in here. And a few things he's discussing are like solution architecture, the permissions, ports, and as you can see, he gives us a lot of extra information resources, I would say, for each of these sections, system requirements. Let's just open one, see. Yeah, so it just takes us to the help center. So for each of these section, you're going to be able basically to go to the help center and find out more information. And I'm glad that he didn't copy paste, and put it in here. He just kind of gave an overview of it. He's also giving some information on configuring log and cache repositories, and then a lot of print screens and shows us how to create user dedicated for new database Entra ID in Postgres SQL 15.3 and so on and so forth. It's really, really long article, and I definitely advise you all to go over it. And here we finally get to the configuring Veeam backup for Microsoft Entra ID. Also, this one is going to take us to the help center, and it's going to give us step by step. So that's great. Okay, very long. But yeah, let me ask you, both of you, what do you think about this article, and what do you think about this topic in general? Let's start this time with Jos.
Yeah, first of all, I bookmarked this article because I think it's complete with all the steps you need. If you add an hypervisor or something like that, it's quite easy. It's the next finish, and you can start making backups. And the Entra ID is a little bit more difficult to implement. And I really like all the steps and the details he wrote down. And the second part is that he do the restore tests. I see a lot of articles where it's written how to back up something like a special component, but making backups is useless if you cannot restore it. And in this article also covers the restore tests and how it works and where to look. So it's a really nice article. I really liked it.
Absolutely, I agree. He even says here, enjoy happy backup and restore. What's your takeaway from this one, Shane?
Yeah, like it's a really long article. It is pretty detailed, but I like the fact that he didn't just, as you mentioned, copy and paste and just wrote text. I'm a visual person as well as a reader learning via text, so I like the fact that he incorporated a lot of screenshots through the process because, like I said, I'm a visual person, and it complements another article written by Veeam Vanguard Jen Jones a few weeks ago. I like to see differing perspectives from the community on implementing a technology, so it was very interesting to me. And I also learned something new with this Entra ID Veeam technology, backup technology that I wasn't aware of, that the storage used for the backup of Entra ID is stored in a database, in the Postgre database. It's not a traditional repository. The repositories used are for caching and logging, so that kind of took me by surprise a little bit, but that's why I read the articles, to learn something new. And as a customer, I don't really use some of these technologies that, say, a service provider uses. So it was very interesting.
Yeah, totally. I agree. I mean, that's why we are in the community, right? We always learn
Mhm.
something new every day. Even if we don't use that technology, I think it's still interesting to go over it. And even though you don't go in all details, but it's good to just keep the pace and be updated because, yeah, things are changing all the time. My favorite part, to be honest, is this one. Why backup Microsoft Entra ID, and they give you here like a bunch of information, right? And reasons why you should use it. So yeah, overall, very good article, as you both said, and thank you very much, Link State. Looking forward for the next one. So moving forward to the second article, Windows Object Storage via MinIO Community Update 2025. And this one comes from Marco Fabri. Marco Fabri used to be a legend and VUG Italy leader. Unfortunately, he had some health issues, so he had to kind of withdraw from the community for a while. But it's fantastic to see him back and contributing. So welcome back, and definitely, I really hope he's going to keep on posting because he's a very knowledgeable technical guy. But talking about this one, so basically, Um, he's basically updating uh, like something that he worked few years back. Let's see, when was that? That was a year ago, right? So
Correct.
he was working on this script a year ago, so now he's kind of updating his work. So that's great to see. So basically, what is he doing in here? He has a guide for configuring on-premises object storage using MinIO on Windows Server. Basically, this setup allows Veeam backup and replication to utilize S3 compatible object storage for backup repositories. And the guide includes steps for setting up MinIO on Windows Server 2025, and this will ensure the compatibility with the latest server version. So this is also not a very long article. You have the PowerShell script here, but it's a long script. But yeah, just wanted again to ask you, what do you think about this article and the topic in general? Who wants to start now?
I'll go. I just, again, to your point, Maddie, he's just um, updating from his post a year ago from 2022 server to 2025, so a newer OS. But he also looks like he incorporated some automation in his process with that long PowerShell script. So it was really good that he provided the community with a script to be able to get this Windows-based object storage set up that you can use with Veeam. And again, as a customer, I don't really use that technology. So it's something I think I'm going to look into to test with in my environment to kind of see what it looks like. So I really appreciate it, and good to see Marco back in the community a little bit.
Absolutely. Jos, any thoughts?
Yeah, sure. I used MinIO some years ago, and it was a nice community version. There are some alternatives, and I think it's a good idea to give it a try for demo purposes or something like that. To be honest, I don't think I would install some kind of object storage solution on the Windows Server itself, but what's he mentioning? It's for demo and test purposes. And then I think it's also a great article how to do it, and yeah, it's a great script. Yeah, and I don't see the use case at this moment. I think there are some other options as well, but yeah, it's great to see that there's
There are options,
that's
right?
that's
there are
also great,
options.
that you have a different opinion. So
Of course.
what options would you use instead?
Myself.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit an object first fan, so I have the VSA installed, but also the Veeam Hardened Repository. I use it a lot in my lab. So that would be my options to test and maybe to use it in production. we have a customer who's using MinIO on Linux and in production, and yeah, I think that's a great option.
Mhm. Yeah, if I recall it well, I think Anthony, that used to be in our team, he used to be a fan of MinIO.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe he's watching it and he's gonna let us know. But yeah, overall, great article anyway, and it's great to really have you back, Marco, and looking forward to see more from you. Going to our last article from the Community Hub, and this is actually, as he says, Dave, long-time reader, first-time poster. Great to have you in the recap. Great to have you contributing at the Community Hub, Dave. He's Dave from New Zealand. And I think this is rather original article in the sense that, he's just experiencing some some challenges, and then he's thinking, okay, I'm installing a Vault, as a VCSP, and why not sharing it with the rest of the community, because some other people might be out there and they might want to use the product, and they might have the same situation, on their journey on this process of using the Vault. And why not sharing my challenges in here, as well as the solutions and some best practices. And I really like this type of this article, because I think it can help a lot of people. It can touch a lot of other partners, and it can help them in making the process much easier for them when trying the first time the product. And yeah, he says gotcha 1, gotcha 2, gotcha 3. I really like how he's putting this in here. So I really enjoyed this one, but also want to ask you about your opinion in regards this one.
Yeah, it's a third great article this week. What I really like is that it's I think for the most of us it's quite new to use this kind of solution, and there are some remarks, and that's he wrote down as gotchas. The third one is that it's added as at your own my.veeam.com account. So that maybe if you do that the first time, it sounds a little bit odd to do that way, but that's how it works. And in the end, it's just working as expected. So it's a right article to read when you are going to work with the Veeam Vault.
Yeah, absolutely. I really think it's a valuable information in here. What do you think, Shane?
Yeah, as far as Veeam Data Cloud for service provider environments, again, first of all, welcome, Dave. Good to see you posting in community. I think, as Madalena said, this is very valuable because it's not necessarily a how-to article. It's an article about areas of concern, or maybe a product that requires some feature enhancements or some changes in the future. Maybe some security concerns with how a service provider needs to implement Veeam Data Cloud with email address and that kind of thing when you have a tenant. But in the end, as he states in the summary, he was able to work around the issues he experienced and get them to work. And he also mentions that Veeam is aware of the headaches or concerns that he had about implementing the product as a service provider and is looking to make the product better. So, outlined the areas of concern that he had, the issues that he had, how he worked through them, and then shared that Veeam was aware of those problems, and hopefully there's some changes to mitigate those issues for future people, service providers that look to integrate Veeam Data Cloud in their environment.
Yeah, and
Really good
let's not
article.
forget, yeah, let's not forget that there's also like if you have any issues, it's a new product, right? And
Mm.
he is aware and he says like as expected with any new product, you might encounter some challenges. But there is also a support out there, and you can always reach to the support and just ask for help if you feel like you are a bit stuck in with your process. But thank you, Dave, for sharing it, and really looking forward to see more of you. Really enjoyed this article, and it seems like both Joss and Shane enjoyed it as well. So now that we are done with the articles from the hub, we have a Vanguard blog spotlight. And we have again this guy, Tech Notes and Dad Jokes, aka Derek. And this is the third time we are mentioning him in, I think, in the past 2 months, maybe, in this category, the Vanguard blog spotlight. So well done. It seems like you are super active and good articles. This time, what is he doing in here? He's writing about his experience repurposing on an old Barracuda 290 backup appliance that he got it from a former client apparently. And it's basically outdated, but he says it's still decent hardware. So what he's doing, he's been experimenting with the Veeam Hardened Repository, and he's asking himself, if I had a small drive, or was it somewhere here? He says, I've been playing for some time with the Veeam Hardened Repository ISO, and if the hardware inside would work with the addition of a small hard drive for the OS, this too could possibly be a repository. So this is pretty interesting, I think. He also clarifies somewhere, yeah, here is, this is, I wouldn't just put this into production environment, and I think we all agree on that. But a home lab or work lab, that would be good enough. Now, what do you think about it? I'm sure you both have a home lab, and you probably use different hardware. You probably have different setup. But first of all, let's talk about this article, because I think it's also a good um, article in here. I think this comes more from passion than anything else, what he's doing, if you ask me. I don't know. But it's very thorough in his explanation in here. So kind of enjoyed going over the details. He's trying to also be funny at some point, and he's talking about performance. Um,
Yeah.
okay. It's interesting. He shares some pictures as well. You can tell that it's a little bit outdated. But yeah, just tell me your opinions. Want to hear all. Shane?
It's kind of funny. Just you got some hardware sitting around, so why not? You know, this is one of those areas where if you can, why not? Not just because you can, don't, kind of thing. As a technologist, this is just interesting. Why not? It's sitting there. Why not try? And again, it's just used for lab and
Yeah.
demoing kind of thing. It's not anything that you would put in production. But if it works, it works. Good detailed post. And I like the fact that in the end he tried to create some Veeam logos to rebrand his Barracuda
Oh, yeah.
appliance as a
That
as a
was
VHR.
hilarious. I
Yeah.
agree.
So good stuff.
Yeah.
What do you
It's
think, Jas?
it's pretty well done, the logo at the end.
Yes.
What I do like is that you don't need the latest and greatest hardware to run the Veeam Hardened Repository. So it runs on older hardware, and a lot of hardware is supported. So that's what I really like for the Veeam Hardened Repository, what it's trying to do. You can run it on older hardware, and you don't want this one put in production, but from home lab, yeah, why not?
Right. And he says at the end of this article, I forgot about this at a Veeam On session, when this was first announced, Veeam On session with both him and Rick, that several individuals had approached him on different, older appliances or server hardware. They were attempting to put the VHR on using the ISO and were successful. So it's just kind of interesting that this is, I guess, a new one to add to the
Yeah.
list of all the different appliances or server models that the VHR can be installed on.
I think this is also a process of educating yourself, right? If you have the right amount of time, because I think it takes a little bit of time as well, right, to do
Mhm.
all this. But I think it's a great way to educate yourself and see, what's compatible with what would work, what not. And it's also like for the people that don't want to put a lot of money in it and they just need it for a home lab, I think this is a great example, like. Of how you can do it with little money, or no money at all. So yeah, um, overall great stuff. But I'm sure you guys as well have your home labs. And what do you use for your home labs? How did you set it up?
I use work environment equipment here
Okay.
and a lot of virtual machines. I don't go extra hardware. I do have some older hardware from my physical host to put virtualization on, kind of segregate everything out from my production environment, of course. But otherwise, I actually do my labbing here at work. So
Yeah. And yours?
I used to have an old HPE server, which made a lot of noise. So I'm now switched to the couple of small microservers, the Intel NUCs, and I ran off a couple of VMs on that. So a lot of appliances are virtualized, so it's always easier to run appliances. But I have an old microserver Gen 8, the one with ILO. That's what I'm using for as a backup target. So
Okay.
yeah, and for the in the Veeam 100 we have a lot of vendors that are willing to promote their products. So I have an objects first virtual appliance, but also a Wasabi storage account, and a couple of more things which I use for my lab environment.
Yeah. So that's exactly why I said that I think what Derek is doing in here is just pure out of passion and educating himself, because there are so many options. As a Veeam 100 member, you have like a bunch of our partners that are out there giving you free appliances, free resources to create your home lab. So yeah, thank you very much, and looking forward to see more of you, Derek. You became a regular. Let's see what you come up with next time with. So that being said, we are going to now move to the special department news section. And we're gonna start with one event in person. I think this is the first VUG DC in-person event. Nico Stein and Al Rashid are the two leaders in that area. And this event is going to take place August 14th. It's not going to be a very long event. I can see about 3 hours. It translates my time, but I don't really know what time is going to be. I think if we're going to go to this page, we might find out. So you actually can go here if you are in the area and you are planning to attend this event. You still have time. It's August 14, as I said. And this is the page where you can register, get tickets. It's going to be for free. And Yeah, it's going to be 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. EDT. Here you have the location as well. It seems like Data Price is helping out with the venue. And here you have some agenda highlights. I can see they're going to talk a bit about SIEM and SIEM tools probably and cybersecurity. And they're going to have Object First as well. They're going to have a raffle. So that's going to be good. And yeah, as I said, Nico and Al, thank you very much for organizing this first event in DC area. But talking about Veeam user groups, you both are Veeam user group leaders. Shane in the US, Kansas City, and Jos in Netherlands. When should we expect your next events? Are we going to have anything in person? Are we going to have virtual events? Tell us more.
Good question. We had a in-person event back in May, so I have yet to do a virtual event. So, and I just started last year and had two in-person events last year. Certainly can do another in-person event, but I'm thinking about maybe doing a virtual event and inviting some of the fellow Veeam 100 community to help present. Not sure yet, to be determined. Probably looking around October. What about you, Jos?
We did our last virtual event a month ago in the beginning of July. It was just before the vacation season here in the Netherlands. And there we covered a short recap of the Veeam On items, topics that were covered. And our next event will be a virtual one. And later this year, we want to organize an in-person event. That's what we wanted to do.
Good to hear.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
fantastic.
just we did a couple of events already, and the number of participants is growing. So in our next virtual event, we want to make a list of topics we want to cover for an in-person event. So, and that's what I really like about the other VOGs. See what topics they covering, and see what they are presenting, what partners they are inviting, and that can be useful for us too.
Agree.
Absolutely. That's great to hear that you both have plans for further events. And Shane, I know at the beginning of this show you mentioned that you actually had the show at the VMC, an event, I mean, at VMC study hall. You had Federica and Bison, and you were discussing the new changes. Do you want to give us maybe just a very short overview of
Yeah,
what
for
did you
the
discuss? What are the changes in there?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's not too many changes coming with the VMCE. The VMCE is still going to be around. Just, I think the good overview is it's going to be expanded. You'll have your VMCE, but it looks like it's turning into a VMCSE or something like that with two new trainings and certifications incorporated. Veeam 1 as well as a security certification, and those will be out pretty soon. You still have the VMCE, but they're going to expand on that. A lot of changes will be coming to the VMCA, which actually is going to be completely expired, and hopefully Jos and Federica, and I'm not sure, don't want to put pressure on him. I know he's busy and all that. But hopefully an event will come, a webinar will come to talk about that certification, because some significant changes are coming for that certification later on in the year, in the beginning of next year. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you for this short overview on the discussion that you had. I saw there were so many people registering for it. I'm pretty sure people are very interested in this topic.
And we do
But
have,
definitely,
sorry to cut you off, we do have a recording of that. Yeah, we had like, I want to say close to 60 or 70 registrants. I don't think we didn't have that many show up. We had about mid 40s, somewhere around there. Still a really, really good turnout. But if you didn't catch it, we do have the recording on the VMCE study hall page. So go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So we always try, all our leaders are trying to share the link from the YouTube. So making sure it gets to you with all the events, VUG or thematic groups. So you should always find it at the in that specific group. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, Jos, I think that would be actually, Shane has a good point in there. Maybe at some point you and Federica and somebody else, maybe you could have an event about it. I'm sure so many people are very interested in all those changes. So yeah, let's
Yeah,
see all that, because I know it's still like not everything out there. I think
indeed.
they just right? So I
Yes.
think
So
that we have to wait a bit.
I can recommend the webinar is recorded with Shane organizers. And after the summer period, somewhere the end of September or October, we will do a next one, and we will go more in depth why the VMCA is coming to an end and why it's transformed to the VM's SE security expert certification track with all the contents, why it's in there, and which exams are included, something like all what's needed to get certified.
So when should all these come? When do you foresee like an event to explain all this?
Somewhere after the summer period, so in the end of September, of the beginning of October, somewhere in that period, before the Veeam 100 summit in
Okay.
Prague.
Okay. So at least people know, they are aware when to
Yeah,
check it out.
yeah,
But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to participate in that.
I hope
Um,
so.
yeah. And last but not least, news that we have, and let's see if now it's working, right? I'm gonna just refresh the page and then try to go to blog of the month. Nope, something went wrong. It seems like there is some maintenance happening right now with the hub. But what I wanted to mention is actually the blog of the month winner, July 2025. That's Jochen Meichner, and it's with his blog. Let's see, it was security. Let's see if I can find it. Probably it starts with data. That might help. Nope. Data protection. Maybe if I put J. Meichner. Now if I
Data
go
backup,
here,
data backup basics.
yeah, I think that data backup, you're right. Basics, you're right. Okay, and I believe it was this one that won the prize, right? So he
Yeah, a
won.
few weeks ago. Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Security and resilience. We mentioned it in the recap as well. So that was a really good one. I think all his series it's a great one. So worth reading his articles. As I said, he has a series. If you go here, you can see all the blogs from the series. And I think our community is finding his articles useful, good information, because this is the third time when he's winning blog of the month. So congratulations on that, Jochen. I think the closest to him, he had 8 votes, and the second place was taken by Esteban Prieto in Argentina. So if anything, whenever the site is going to work, you can go and check Blog of the Month winner article. And with that, we finished all the content for today that we prepared. So great to see you, to see your faces again, because I only saw, the screen. But thank you very much once again for being part of this show. And of course, it's not going to be the last one. And I don't know if you have any final thoughts, just before we close. Jos, you going on vacation?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
3
this is my
weeks.
last.
So
This is my last item I have to I had in my agenda. So it's holiday from now on.
amazing. Enjoy
Nothing,
it.
yeah, nothing for me. Still hard at it, the grind. Not everybody can go on vacation like Yas, so
Yeah. Still
But
enjoying the summer,
glad to be
right?
here. Yeah, glad to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
here. Appreciate
It
it.
was a pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you very much once again. And thank you everyone for watching us. And we are looking forward to see you next week in normal circumstances next week, because Rick is back with episode 227. Other than that, happy weekend, everyone, and see you soon.
Bye bye.